I know, you can say it, just get it off your chest. It's been way too long since we've had the XJ in the garage for a project, but my son is home from college and we're gonna do some cool stuff today, aren't we?
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, guys, this is gonna be awesome. Some nice upgrades today. Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon, I'm Brad, and today guys I'm really excited because we're going to be doing some very nice interior upgrades to the XJ, something that has been long overdue, but my son just got home from college. Buddy, it's good to have you home, man.
Yeah, it's great to be home.
We took the XJ out last weekend to Sandstone Canyon. How awesome was that?
It was a lot of fun, it's very awesome.
Yeah, Sandstone Canyon out in Anza Borrego was a great time, and the Jeep performed well. That's the most driving you've done out there, man.
Yeah,
you did really well.
It was fun.
But your number one complaint was what?
This right here, the stereo.
The stereo.
XJ, because it's a lot older, so I can't listen to my own music, and it'd be nice to plug in my phone, listen to some country while driving.
Right, yeah, so absolutely. So guys, what we are doing today is two very simple things, maybe a third thing depending on if we can figure it out. But we have got a new stereo, which is JVC stereo. We've got some Kenwood speakers and some new connectors. Now this is not a high-end system. I think I spent $155 for all this. But it's going to give us Bluetooth, I say us, it's going to give you Bluetooth capability. He's going to be able to have a USB port so he can charge his phone if he needs to. And I don't even know how many of the speakers aren't working. We'll figure that out later, but I think there may only be 2 speakers working. So definitely going to have a better audio system just by upgrading these speakers and getting rid of the broken ones. So the stereo is going to be a very nice upgrade. Also, what we're going to be doing today is installing a little switch panel where the ashtray is. So we don't smoke, we don't need that. We don't smoke, right?
Nope.
No, we don't smoke. And we're going to throw on this little plate that I got off eBay for like 15 bucks. Somebody just cut this up and was selling them. It's very nice. You know, this would be something you could make at home if you had the ability to do that, but for 15 bucks, shoot, easy day, right? You're just gonna prime this and paint it, and then we've got some of these Daystar switches, and these things are like 7 or 8 bucks off of Amazon. Install these with the bumper lights. We're gonna switch over, and those will go on here, and then the other 2 we'll keep empty for now, but we'll use those in the future. Now there are a couple other plates you can use that have smaller buttons if that's what you want, but I kind of like the large tactile feel of the Daystar, and I don't think we need a whole lot of accessory buttons in there, maybe some lockers down the road, but we can figure that out when we get there. So we're going to install the stereo, we're going to install this simple little switch panel, and then we got to figure out why the cigarette lighters aren't working. I'm hoping it's just a fuse, but you're going to learn how to kind of hunt that down. Hopefully you won't have to rewire anything. But that's the plan today, guys. I'm ready to get started. You ready to get started?
Yeah, I am.
You got a lot to learn today because you've never done a stereo install before. Nope. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, bud, before we do the stereo install, it's probably a good idea just to go ahead and throw some primer on this and paint. That way it'll be drying while we're doing that. So you ready to prime it up?
Sounds good.
So just a good practice, anytime you're doing electrical work, you always want to remove the negative cable of the battery that just keeps anything from shorting out. So go ahead and pull that off there. There you go. You ready to get rid of this old stereo?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of the temporary button. Just slide that aside. And then Mr. Chromehead, how about that guy? So he came with the Jeep and we just have never gotten rid of him. Why haven't we gotten rid of him?
No idea.
I don't know. Okay, well he'll hang around. All right, now, like I showed you, pull off that center faceplate there. Just pop those 2 forward. There you go, and just slide it right on up. Perfect, perfect. Okay, and now what we're gonna do is there are 2, I think these are 10mm bolts right here. So we're gonna grab a wrench and then we'll pull that out of there. Lefty loosey, righty tighty there, buddy. So if this was a stock stereo, it wouldn't have this, what's called a DIN plate around it. So this is actually pretty nice because we're going to reuse that. But go ahead and pull that out. And then what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is take out the antenna. So go ahead and unplug that bad boy. Okay, and then there's a couple connectors and a ground here in the rear that we're going to unplug. Just a little tab, pull that tab forward, and then same with the other one. Got it? Okay, and it looks like the ground has been kind of taped on here, so let's go ahead and pull that tape off there and see if they used a plug or if we just need to cut the wire. Oh, okay, see if you can just pull that plug right out of there, straight out of the bottom. See that little metal brass piece? Pull that straight out. There you go. Yank on it. Yay!
Just like that.
Yep, okay. The stereo's out. Let's go take a look at it. Okay, bud, so their stereo, they did a great job wiring it, but it looks like their wire connection actually fit directly for this Pioneer, right? So it had this little clip on here and it went straight to it. We're not so lucky. So this is the one that goes to the stereo. So this is going to actually clip into here. But we have to wire all these up to this, okay?
Yeah.
Now there's a couple different ways you can do that, but I think the best way we're going to do it is we're actually going to take the time and solder this all together. So you ready to learn how to solder a little bit?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Now a lot of people will use these little connectors. These are little standard connectors. And basically what you do is you take two wires on there and you just screw them up inside them. Like this. So take two wires together and then just screws right in there, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty easy. The only problem is I've had a lot of these that have, pulled apart, and then so after you put the entire stereo back together, there's like one speaker that doesn't work, and that means you just got to pull everything back apart and figure out which one it was. So these are pretty good. This is a good option, but I really like the fact that soldering just holds things together much better. Yeah. So these connectors are here already have little tabs to pull the wires off, so we'll just pull all those off. But on this one, we're going to use this guy to strip the ends of it, just like that. So why don't you go ahead and pull all the tabs off and start stripping wires.
All right.
Pretty easy, huh?
Yeah.
A lot easier than trying to burn it off with a lighter or something.
Yeah, that's really easy.
But I am not a solder expert by any means, but I can find my way around this. This is pretty nice. My buddy Marco taught me how to do this. So solder, this is flexed. This helps to keep the tip of this clean. There's a little wet sponge right there. Just wipe that off, okay? And we're going to use that to heat this up. So just put the solder on the iron and let that melt onto the wire. So see how that kind of coats the wire a little bit? Okay, I'm going to do that on both yellow ones. Okay. All right, now that we've got solder on both the wires, we're ready to solder those together. But what I'm going to do is take the heat shrink and I'm going to slide this on there. And lesson learned for me, don't leave this sitting up here while you're doing it, because it'll actually close up. So just slide this way down there so it's nice and cool. But then we can bring these together, and that solder that we put on the wire, we'll just heat it up and they will melt together. And then just hold it still, let it cool, because you can see it's still wet, right? There we go. And that wire gets a little hot, so just be careful. So now that's a good, nice connection. Can slide our heatsink over that, and then take our little butane. Alright, now that we got that thing lit, it took forever, and you can just heat this up and see how that melts right around the wire?
Yep.
Try not to burn the wire, but there you go. Alright, and that's it, buddy. That's our connection. So that's a nice, clean connection. Now we just got to do it a whole bunch more times. You ready?
Yep.
Alright, man, y'all done?
Yep, finally. Took a while, but
It looks clean. You did a really, really nice job, bud.
thanks.
You learned a little bit about soldering today, too.
Yeah,
Huh?
did.
Cool. Let's go get it installed.
Alright.
So I mentioned we were going to reuse this DIN plate, right? So what we need to do is go in here and flatten out all these tabs that are bent up, and then we can slide everything out, and then we can put in the new plate, then bend those tabs, and then slide the new stereo right inside there, and then I think we're ready to install this thing.
Alright. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plug in these black and gray connectors, and then you're going to take the black ground wire and plug it right in there. Just like that.
All right, and we'll wrap a little electrical tape around that like they had it before. It's a nice little setup.
Okay, so we found a great spot for this Bluetooth speaker right here, and we wired it back here, so we're going to go ahead and connect that into my favorite color connector right there.
Yeah, the pink one, baby.
Then we're going to take the wire harness, and we're going to go ahead and plug that right in the back. Just like that. And then since the antenna is on the opposite side right here, we're going to take it, it's a little shorter, up, connect it just like that.
You just bolt it in, right?
Yep.
Just remember that's all plastic, so you don't want to too tight, just nice and snug. It looks really good. What do you say we connect the battery and test it out?
Sounds good.
Okay, we got the ignition on. Moment of truth, buddy. Power it up. Let's see if she works. Hey, we got power.
There we go.
Now, too bad we can't share any music with anybody because that would be a copyright infringement. Sorry, guys. You'll just have to trust us that the music works. All right, now you checked, and there's only 2 of the 4 speakers that are working, and this is one that's not working, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to pull a couple screws off and pry this off here to get access to the speaker. Hopefully replacing the speaker is all we need to do, but if we've got to rewire it, that'll add some extra fun to our project today. But let's rip this off.
All right.
All right, guys, to access the speaker, you do not have to take the whole door panel off. You can actually just pull it up and get to the speaker just like this. But for filming purposes, we're just going to take the whole thing off. All right, old speaker, obviously the new speaker. A little bit of a difference there, bud?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, definitely a lot different. Hopefully it's just the speaker that's bad, but this is definitely going to give us a nice sound improvement. Now, I did go ahead and buy these little Chrysler speaker connectors, and these will just hook up right to that connector that you got. But you don't need these. If you could just cut the wires and attach them here if you want. But this makes things nice and easy. Plus one's large and one's small, so you know which one is the positive and the negative, so you don't mix that up. So hopefully we hook this up, man, and we got sound.
Yeah, hopefully. It's connected.
Yeah, just lay it in the door. All right, so bad news. It's a great, beautiful speaker, and we got rid of the crummy one, but the sound is not coming out, which means we got to pull the stereo, and we got to run fresh wire from here to there. And that means we probably have to do the same for the one rear speaker. So our project just got a little more difficult, but we got this, bud, no problem.
Yep.
All right, so we're sitting here trying to figure out the best way to rewire the speaker. And so what we have done is removed the inside panel here, and that was just held on by a bolt and a screw. And then we need to run the wire through this tubing here all the way through the door. And so we've cut a little hole in the end here, run a hanger through there, and then we're going to attach some wires and pull those through all the way through and wire them up underneath there. And then that nice great job of wiring Justin did, we're going to have to undo a little bit of that to wire up these speakers. But we got this, no problem. All right, guys, I think I just made Justin's day because we bought 5 1/4 speakers for the front doors because that's what we removed, and we were going to put 6 1/2 in the rear. But here's the thing. If I put these 5 1/4 in the door, they actually don't line up with the holes that are already there, which means I got to drill holes. However, these 6 1/2 actually fit perfectly in there, and the holes line up so we don't have to re-drill anything. So Justin, you good with that?
Yeah.
Let's get this done. All right, guys, Justin's hooking up the new speaker, and just want to point out that there is a positive and negative for speakers. And on this one, the small terminal is the negative and the large terminal is the positive. So you want to make sure that you just have those lined up correctly. Justin is just putting all the trim pieces back on after getting that speaker wired. Justin, why are you all sweaty, dude?
Just squeeze all the way back in there, that's why.
All right, we got the front driver speaker all wired up, brought it up through the dash and around here. And unfortunately, Justin, sorry dude, all your nice work that you did soldering these, we had to cut these two, and we just went with the simple little screw on here because trying to resolder all this with those wires coming through would just be a bit of a handful. But we checked, the speaker works now, so buddy, let's get this buttoned up and check out the sound system.
All right.
Alright, so take it easy, dude. You know we did a lot of work to that headliner.
Yeah.
I don't want to rip our nice work we did last year on this headliner. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to try to just install the new speaker and hope that it works and hope that we don't have to rewire it like we just did that other one, but it's a possibility. All right, this is the speaker that Justin just took out, and it's also a 5 1/4. I thought the rears were 6 1/2, so we're gonna see if this one will fit up in there. Otherwise, we're gonna have to make that guy fit. All right, Justin, you're smiling ear to ear, dude. Tell us the good news.
It works, the wire's not broken, it was just the speaker.
So we don't have to rewire this one.
No.
Awesome, we can install it, and man, you're gonna have a good sound system.
Yep.
All right, bud, you ready to test it out with all 4 speakers?
Yeah.
Let's do it, man. Let's hear it. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, good morning, guys. It's day 2. We actually just took a break after getting the stereo installed. But, dude, what do you think about the stereo?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds so nice, and you got a lot of functionality with it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, we just kind of took a break after getting the stereo installed because we needed to let the paint dry on the switch panel plate, which we're going to install today. Should be pretty quick and pretty simple,
Yeah.
we hope. But then we got to chase down why the cigarette lighters aren't working, bud. So hopefully it's just a simple fuse. We're not having to rewire stuff, but we'll see, guys. You ready to get started?
Yep.
Let's do it. Okay, we got the plate all painted up. Nice job, buddy. Looks good. And then we got our 3 Daystar switches. And these are just going to pop right in here. Hopefully everything fits nice and snug like that. Oh, there you go. That works great, right? Okay. And then there are 3 terminals on here. So there is terminal 3, 2, and 7. So 7 is the ground, the one up here on the top. Then there's the power in and the power out. And so we're only going to wire up one of these today to our front bumper lights. And guys, if you want to see the install of those front bumper lights, I will leave a link in the description. But we're just going to hook that up right here, and I think that's going to look good, right?
Yeah, that's going to look really good.
Let's go throw this in the Jeep.
All right.
Okay, I think we can actually just pry this ashtray up. It should just pop right out. Give it a shot. There you go. There you go. You got it. Easy. Nice. All right, with the ashtray removed, now we're going to run our wires up through here, and we've run a coat hanger all the way under here. And by the way, I use this coat hanger for so many things, but we've got them taped to the end of the wires here. So Justin, go ahead and pull those through, buddy, nice and slow. So the switch panel bracket holes are a little small, so Justin's going to just drill them out here, make them a little bigger. All right, so we went ahead and pre-drilled a couple holes to line up with the bracket, and we put another coat of paint on here. We did mar it up just a little bit in the vise, but it still looks okay. So bud, why don't we get those screws in there, and then we will get the switches mounted. The ground is going to go on that top circuit, that number 7, and then the center one is going to be power in. And then the bottom one, which is number 3, is going to be power out. And just test to make sure that switch lights up. Ah, nice. Okay, and then slide it in there. It should just pop right in. Hey, look at that. Nice. All right, now we'll just put the other ones in there. Those are just going to be blanks for now. Nice. What do you think, dude?
Awesome. They look great.
It turned out really good, man. You did a great job. All right, but our last project for the weekend is to get these power outlets or cigarette lighters to work. Now, Mr. Chromehead has been in here ever since we bought the Jeep, and he's just become part of the XJ. He's got red eyes. Do you think they light up when the cigarette lighter works?
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to find out and see.
We'll have to find out and see. So let's go pop the hood and see if we can find a fuse. Hopefully it's just a fuse issue and we don't have to rewire anything. All right, I'm going to pull the fuse panel off and see what we got underneath there. All right. Okay, now on the lid here, it usually tells you what fuses are what. So looks like we got fuel pump, starter, cooling fan. There's a bunch down here. AC battery. You know what? This is all under the engine bay stuff. I don't see like dash lights and all that stuff. I wonder if there's another fuse panel. We need to go get on Google and take a look.
Alright.
Alright, bud, what'd you find out on Google?
So I found out that right behind this door right here, there's actually another fuse panel, and it's a 25 amp fuse, and it's the second one down from the top. So it'll be right up here.
Let's pull it. Hopefully that's the problem. Okay, so here's the fuse you just pulled out, and here's a brand new 25 amp fuse. What do you notice that's different?
Well, other than it looking newer, it looks like the older one has a break in the middle of it.
Yeah, right. So there is a little piece of metal that goes right through the center, and this one has been broken, which means there was some kind of short or something that made the fuse bust, right? So we're going to go put the new one in, and hopefully there's not a short somewhere in the wiring system, and this will just fix our problem and those will work. But that's good news. At least we know that maybe it's just the fuse we replace and we don't have to rewire anything. So let's go pop this in. All right, go ahead and pop that bad boy in there. Bad news, we didn't get any charge and we popped the new fuse, which means there's a short somewhere. But I think that's maybe a project for a different day. What do you think?
Yep.
Okay. So, bud, it is good having you home from college for the summer because it's been a while since we've been in the garage turning wrenches.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So we didn't get it all accomplished today, guys. We're actually going to leave you hanging. We didn't get the outlets, cigarette lighter, chrome head to light up, you know. So we have to do a little homework and figure that out. But guys, there'll be another video coming and we will make sure we explain to you why those aren't working and how we fixed it. But the good news is stereo.
Awesome stereo.
Awesome stereo. Speakers.
Awesome.
Awesome. And that switch panel, that's really nice.
Yeah, it looks great.
Got rid of that ashtray, got some cool switches in there. It just looks cool, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So a lot more to do over the next couple months while you're home. We're going to definitely do some more project, guys, and we will be filming that along the way because I know you have been asking for more XJ videos. So here they are, ready to roll. More coming your way, guys. Look, if you're visiting TrailRecon for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. Thanks for watching.